Hello, Mark Larsen here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guest is an awesome Edwin Mueller.
That's me.
Yep, he's awesome dude that we just met. I don't think it's even been a week, has it?
I don't think so. No, about like 4 days.
Yeah, and the hot tub. We had a great conversation in the hot tub.
Great combo.
We had some. But yeah, tell us a little bit about where you're from. We're in Hastings, Nebraska at the Blue Moon. Thankful for them letting us use this space today. So where are you from?
Yeah, so I was born in Arlington, Virginia. Lived there for about 6 years. I was adopted down there by my beautiful parents, Angela Mueller and Kai Mueller. And I'll talk about a little bit about them later.
Okay.
So I lived in the DC area, and after about 6 years, we moved to Russell, Kansas. I actually have an older brother as well. Cool. His name's Diego. And the reason we moved there was because we wanted to live closer to our grandparents. And
Awesome.
My parents actually found a job. And so when we got down there, we started going to school, preschool. Started with preschool. I started making friends. And then I went to middle school down there as well. And then after middle school, I ended up going to high school at Hayes, Kansas.
Hayes is just
They
awesome
just,
place.
in general, had a better education. They had more classes to offer, and I think my mom was really in tune with that because she wanted me to get the best education possible.
Awesome.
Shout out to her again. And so I got down there and did my education, and I actually played soccer, basketball, track.
Wow.
And I actually tried out tennis my senior year, but didn't end up having enough time. But I went to a lot of practices, so
very, very cool.
I had a lot of fun. And I decided to make basketball a future thing, and so I decided to play in college. And this is kind of how I ended up in Hastings College. And so now I'm here, and I'm with this great man, and so we're just enjoying life.
We are. We're just having a conversation here that you guys get to listen in on. So, hey, why Hastings College? I mean, was that the best place with basketball?
Yeah. So I remember I was going on a bunch of visits, just looking for a school that would just suit me. And I obviously, with my mom teaching me how to get the best education possible, that was in the back of my head as well. And so I remember going with my grandma to this tryout, or this little like pickup I had at Hastings. Texted me and said, "Hey, would you like to come down? We'd like to see, what you're about." And so I came down and I played pickup with the guys. And I remember going with my grandma specifically to this one and not going to any other college other than Hastings College with my grandma. And so one of the main reasons was definitely because my grandma was there, and she's a big role model of mine.
That is so cool.
But it was also just because the environment. It's a really good space. It's a tiny town, which I've grew up in a tiny town, so I'm used to it.
Yep.
But there was really nice people when I went down there. I think we went to go eat somewhere. I can't remember where, but the people were just really, really nice and just open to just having a conversation.
Yeah, Hastings is, and I like you're talking about small towns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like we're Russell and Hayes and all the other ones.
Exactly.
Anybody who knows Cheryl and I, we end up in Kansas a lot. Kansas has a lot of really friendly people.
It does, yeah.
So just like the other day with Phillipsburg. So, so how long have you been living in Hastings now?
So I'm a freshman in college, and so I've been here about, I would say, I got here about August, moved into my dorm. You know how first year is in college, so living in the dorm right now still. So I think it's been about 9 or 10 months. And so I'm enjoying every bit of it, man. I mean, I like enjoying every moment in life, and so right now I'm just taking advantage of all my days. So
that's the way to do it. That's the way to live your life, because that's truly, because so many people do theirs, which I think so many people are like some days, and you're doing it. You got the mentality, the mindset to do it now.
Exactly.
And we talked about what you're doing with the basketball. And then when we were in the hot tub, you talked about your clothing line.
Yep.
So in fact, actually, we're both wearing your clothing.
Yep.
So what is impetus to get you to want to do a clothing line?
Well, I would say my inspiration was definitely in a sense of me, but also my mom and the things that she did in the past. Like, she actually has her own art. She does abstract at home, and she started it. I can't remember exactly when. I want to say 4 years ago. But she started just looking. I think she was looking at videos. She she thought it was really cool, and she started doing her own. She went to classes, and
Wow.
she started going and doing art, and she wanted to take it more serious. And she actually, we have a garage, and it has a loft area, and
That's awesome.
she does her art up there. She has
Perfect.
her own little setup. She has it going, and I feel like that was one of my main inspirations, because she inspired me to open my own business up and
Yep.
start my own thing.
Yep.
And so I did that, and I started about my sophomore year. I decided to just buy some Gildan shirts. I remember they were like maybe like $2, something like that.
Okay.
And I bought like 50 of them, because I think I had like $120 to spend. And so I bought them, and I remember that was the hardest part of my journey when it came to my clothing line, because I was so worried about, can I make that first step? And I never made that first step. And once I made that first step, it just kept going. I just kept stepping. Yep. And I remember when I bought those Gildan shirts, I was like, okay, now I got to do something with these shirts. I can't just keep them at home. Yeah. And so I remember going to a place called Perfect Print downtown, because I wanted to use my community to my advantage. Yep. And I went there, and I remember putting on something on Safari or something that said like, "You're a person behind me. You're amazing. You're great." And I just wanted to impact people in a certain way that would make them smile. And so I did that, and it started off with my high school, mainly my high school, selling it to my high school. And after my high school started loving it, and everybody bought it, sold out, I was like, okay, it gave me more inspiration. Maybe I can do this, and then those steps just kept going and kept going. Yep. And now I'm making, I have my own brand. I have it as an LLC. I have all these things that I knew were accomplishable, but I didn't see it at the time. You know what I mean? But then it just started. The picture started appearing. And now I have hoodies, joggers. I had swim shorts in the past. I had beanies. I had a lot of things. And so what I think was the best thing was just experiencing things and seeing what people like. And that goes back to, I guess, talk about what my major and minor is. My major is business, and my minor is psychology. And the reasons I took those was to help with my business and to help with my life in general, and just knowing what people like, knowing what people dislike, and knowing how to run my own business, and knowing the steps to become successful. So
if people want to purchase your products, where can they find?
Yeah. So right now, actually, I've been in the works for a while now, but I'm in the works of making an online store and getting that going, because I know that there's going to be people out there that are from maybe Italy or Paris that may want my stuff. And so I think having an online store is going to be the most beneficial thing for me. And so right now I'm taking the steps and working on making sure that it looks amazing, so that when people see it, they're going to want to buy it even more. And so that's the main thing right now. But I also have an Instagram. It's called Original is Perfection. Exactly the words, no, all lower cases. And that's my kind of go-to if someone asks where do I get my clothes from. So then they can shoot me a text, and then I kind of get it to them. So,
and that is what is on your clothes too. So I mean, I don't know if it's on all of them, but yeah. So.
Yeah, the Original is Perfection is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So pretty much the Original is Perfection stands or means that everybody on this world is their own person. Everybody is original in their own way, and original is perfect. You know, and just like him, just like me, we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. And I think that in life, we should use them to our advantage. And I think people forget that you can be yourself, and it's okay. You can be yourself, and I promise you'll live the best life ever, because when you can be yourself, you can do so many things. And I think people are really closed off on being themselves because they're afraid or they're nervous because they think that they're not enough. But I promise you, being original and being yourself is enough, you know? Amen. And so I put Original is Perfection based off the sole purpose of for people to understand that being yourself is amazing. And,
it is.
And there's true happiness in being yourself. And so I put Original is Perfection, and then on the bottom, my main logo is a scribble, which represents everybody is writing your own story. You are writing your own story. And so why not put it on your chest and really just show who you are and be confident in who you are. And so, that was kind of the main, to sum it up really quickly, that was kind of the main purpose. So.
And that's so cool. And you're so motivational, inspirational. Do you ever speak in front of people?
Not normally. I have solo conversations. I have solo conversations, but
I can see you being in front of it. I can see you being on stage. I could definitely see you motivate people.
You never know.
Your passion just came through really big time, man.
Maybe one day.
I can see you doing that. So you have a YouTube channel?
I actually don't have a YouTube channel yet. That's the big,
I love that.
The big word is yet. I want to get it open here soon too. I thought about actually doing little vlogs and kind of asking people questions about their life so that they're more open to be themselves, you know? Because I feel like there's a lot of people here that walk around and just don't get spoke to or have a conversation about them. And I think that a thing that I can really benefit from, and also people can benefit from, is if I were to come up to them and ask them about them and just get them to smile, you know, because sometimes people also forget to smile, you know, which is crazy. But I mean, and that's the first thing to being yourself, is really just enjoying life and smiling at all the little precious moments, you know.
Yep. Because like the old saying, one day you look back and those are the big moments. And I mean, have you ever thought about modeling your own clothes? I mean, you got a great smile and everything.
So on the online store, I actually have not mostly myself, but I have pictures of myself in the clothes. And so my mom actually talked to me about modeling my own clothes, and that's one of the main reasons why I did it. But I also want to hopefully one day model for little agencies or little places, little shops.
I can definitely see you doing that.
Maybe this coffee store, like there you go. Being like, buy this coffee, you know what I mean? It's good. Like I'm drinking it right now, and it's amazing. You know what I mean? It's making me smile. You know, and so just marketing, helping others market too. I feel like that's the sole purpose why I'm on Earth, is because I'm supposed to help others out. And I think people also, I think also people forget that too, is that you have so many gifts that you can help me with, and I have so many gifts that I can help you with. You know, and so.
And you're only 19. Is that what you said?
I'm 19, yeah.
You are, like I told you the other day, you are such a wise man.
Well, I appreciate that. So, people say I act older than my age, so.
You do.
Yeah.
But you got the best of both worlds. You still got that enthusiasm, too. So, okay, this is a Dream Catcher podcast. So when you were growing up, what were the dreams you wanted to accomplish when you got to maybe 19?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I remember it all started off with I remember going to my grandpa's house and always like playing catch. I remember it was sports. First it was sports. And I wanted to be something. I don't know what it was, but I just wanted to be like Superman or Spider-Man. I remember watching those movies and stuff. Yeah. And I remember playing football and baseball with my grandpa. We used to play catch, and my brother was there too. And we used to just have fun and enjoy life. And I think that my grandpa taught me how to just enjoy life and enjoy every precious moment. And I was about, I would say 7 or 8 at the time. And we were doing those things. My dad was working all the time. My mom was working as well. So I remember they just sent me over to my grandparents' house. They'd bake us cinnamon rolls or something like that in the morning. Cool. And we were just having fun. And, I think it was about around 12, around 2016, I believe. My grandpa actually had cancer. And I didn't know at the time that he had cancer. I just thought that he was sick. And it was about a month or a week that he was really going through it. And I thought that he just had, just some sort of sickness at the time. And he ended up just being in his bed every day. And we didn't end up playing catch. We didn't end up doing all those things. And I was playing soccer at the time. So I had stuff during the weekend. I had practices. I was still staying busy. But I remember that last week that he was alive, just checking up on him. And I remember the last night that I saw him, I went into his room. He got out of his bed and he gave me a hug. And I remember I felt that he didn't even have the strength to give me a hug, but he did it anyways. Yeah. And he gave me that hug, and I didn't think too much of it at the time. Right. I think it was a Friday or I don't remember what day it was, but he gave me that hug, and I was like, all right, I gotta go, Grandpa. I got a soccer tournament to go to. Like, I wasn't thinking about it, and so I went, and I remember getting back home on a weekend or something, and I was in my room, I was asleep, and I wake up to my brother in the other room crying, and I remember just feeling some sort of way, and I can't explain how it felt, but I already knew that something bad was going on. And I hear my parents walking in my room, and before they could tell me, I already started crying because I feel like I felt his presence, you know, but I also felt that it was okay.
Yeah.
But they told me your grandpa passed away last night, and obviously I'm breaking down, I'm crying, and I remember this was sort of my testimony because I remember not believing in God at the time because I was so confused on why he took away someone so important in my life.
Right.
And I remember going through all these times, and I went back to school, and I ended up being a really bad person because I didn't understand why, you know, he took my grandpa away.
Sure, right.
And so I remember I ended up being like kind of some sort of a bully, and I was mean to kids. I was just a really disrespectful person in class. I was getting in trouble. And during that time, I remember my grandma told me, "Hey, let's go to church." It was a Sunday. I went to church with her, and I sat in like the third pew, and I remember the whole sermon was about like what I had going on in my life. And right then and there, I realized that my grandpa didn't just die to die. He died for a reason. And that goes back to everything happening for a reason.
Yes.
Even the worst things in your life, it happens for a reason. I promise you guys.
Yes.
And so that happened, and I remember completely changing. I went to school. I remember telling the people that I made fun of or that I disrespected, sorry. I told them sorry.
Wow.
I told them, you know, all these things that I would have never thought back then Edwin would have done. And I told him sorry. I remember being the most respectful person in class. And I just completely changed. And ever since that day, I feel like I've tried to, in a sense, be my grandpa and be that person that he always was. And going back to you saying I'm older than the way I act, I feel like the reason why is because I'm always trying to be him. And obviously he was about 70 when he passed away, and he's a really old guy. But he was always the person I looked up to. And so I feel like he's in me now, in a sense, you know, he's always, you know, by my side in every decision I make and everything I say. So
what an honor to your grandpa too. Yeah. And I mean, it's a win-win. I mean, it's too bad he's not here, but you're carrying on his legacy. Basically.
Sure. Yeah. And I think just like everything happens for a reason, there was a purpose for it. And that purpose was either for me or maybe other people to realize, but he was a really, really social person. And I feel like beforehand, I wasn't that social. And noticing the way he acted, he was the type of guy to walk in a place, and if he saw somebody sad or someone sitting alone, he'd go sit with them, obviously in a comfortable manner, but he'd go sit with them and have a whole hour conversation if that's what it meant to be. And he would talk to them and just make sure at the end of the conversation that they were doing okay and that they were smiling and that there was someone out there that cared. And I remember I was a little kid. He used to do that, and I used to just like watch him do that. I remember just being like, "Grandpa, let's go! Like, I got games to play back home. I want to eat food, you know." And it didn't make me realize what he was doing though until now that I actually think about it. He was impacting so many people by just doing that one conversation, you know, because one conversation can lead to multiple conversations, you know. And what I didn't realize what he was doing was when he made that person smile. That person that smiled made someone else smile.
Ripple.
And then that person that smiled made someone else smile. And it just kept going. And that's what I think life's about is impacting others and helping them succeed with their journey, you know? And so he just helped me do that in a way that I can't even explain, you know? So,
he did an excellent job.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, and I wish I had met your grandpa. I would. I think I'd like your mom too, the way you talk about her too.
She was amazing.
So, no, that's what it's all about. You know, giving your smile to somebody else. Ripple. I'm a big fan of Ripple because Ripple, once you never know what somebody's going through either. It just, I can't wait to see what you're going to be doing in just a few years.
You never know.
So where would you like to see yourself in just a few years?
Yeah, I remember we kind of had this talk about 4 days ago or something
the other day.
And I mean, it's the same. I mean, I just really want to be in an environment and a place where I can be myself, first of all, but where I can just be happy and I'm smiling and enjoying every moment of life. It's that if it's somewhere where I only have $2,000 to my name and I can only do a certain amount of things, but I'm happy and I'm enjoying life and maybe I'm even with the one I love, then I'm okay with that. You know, I'm perfectly fine with that because I understand that life's not really about the money and life's not about the popularity or anything like that. It's about being happy with who you are.
Yes.
You will find so much happiness. I know I already said that, but you will find so much happiness with with seeing and learning yourself, you know?
You will.
And so yeah, I just feel like it'd be somewhere where I'm just happy and excited to see the new day and see what I can do in a day, you know?
It's such a awesome way to live too.
Yeah.
And like we talked to today, God always says doing that is first, the money's secondary. He will provide.
Yeah.
And I have found that to be true.
Yep.
But and there's so many people that don't live that way.
Yeah.
No, I just
it's that faith. It's that
it is
to just put your life in his jeopardy in a sense, and just trust his process, because he's gonna take you down paths that you would have never thought that you could get through. And I promise you, all the stuff that he's putting you through, he knows you as a person can get through those things.
He does.
He wouldn't put you through those situations if he didn't know you could get through those things. So I promise you, if you're getting pushed hard, you are getting pushed hard for a reason. You are an important piece, and keep pushing through, because I promise it, on the other side, it's nice. You just gotta trust it.
Well, he's got this big plan for you, and he's got to push you through so you'll be able to do that big plan too.
Exactly.
So, I mean, your mom probably could do a podcast too. I mean, how about your dad?
So my dad, he was born in Germany. He's a German.
Okay.
I feel like he's where I got somewhat of, I would say, kind of like my attitude, my like ongoing spirit, I guess, in a sense.
Germans are kind of known for discipline and stuff like that.
Yeah. So he definitely has the discipline part in me. He's actually a financial advisor, and so he's taught me a little bit of ways how to run my business and stuff like that. But just money in general, how to save money. He's really good at saving money. If I could go to anybody to save my money, it'd be him, because he gives up so much for our family. Like which he doesn't realize that I see that, but I'm letting him know right now. He had a whole. He has shoes that he wears for 15 years ongoing, and he needs new shoes. Don't get me wrong. He has a whole wardrobe that he's been wearing the same, like, for, I couldn't even tell you how long, but he does that because he wants us to have new things and have things in life where we can, be happy. And for that, to have a dad that's like that, I mean, that's just tremendous amount. That's just amazing. That's just amazing.
So do you write, journal?
I actually do. I started writing about my sophomore year. And I remember having an English teacher that was amazing. She still is amazing. We still talk to this day.
Cool.
She taught me how to just enjoy writing and enjoy writing little things about life. And so I've wrote like short stories and things like that.
Really? Okay, cool.
But she kind of helped me through the process. And I remember I thought English was just not good. It just wasn't fun. It just wasn't it,
Me too.
And I remember she was open to letting me kind of be myself and being open to letting me write what I want to write. And I was so blessed that she did that, because now I write a lot. And if I have free time, sometimes I'll write and go sit on a bench or go sit somewhere where it's just beautiful out, maybe even right now, and just write about what I got going on in my life right now. Or maybe it's a story that I just want to tell people about, I guess, in a sense. So
is there a place?
I have not actually published yet, but people have told me that I need to publish, because my closer friend group, I show those writings to, and they really, really like it. And so I think that, again, that's just like my YouTube, just like my online store. Hopefully I'm going to get that.
I know. Hopefully you will. Yeah. I mean, you're 19. Yeah. You've already accomplished a lot more than a lot of people twice your age. So, I mean.
But it's never too late.
That is true. It is never too late.
You could be 80, and if you want to do that thing, then you could do that thing. You just got to.
Yeah, and don't forget your age.
That step.
Just forget your age and just live what you want to do. Mm-hmm. If you still got the dream and you're still breathing, because there's so many people that just like, well, I'm getting retired, I'm done with life, and it's just like,
it's not over.
It isn't, and all these people.
This may be the best time of your life. This will be the best time of your life, because living that present and living every moment, you will enjoy every bit of life. I promise you that. Even when there's hardships and there's hard times.
And which there is. And I talked to a lady the other day, and she said you need the hardships and you need the bad times to realize when you're having good times. And I put it in perspective, which was interesting. So do you like to travel?
I love to travel. My parents, so ever since I was about, I would say 12 or 13, we started going on trips every year. And so
Awesome.
I've been to Italy,
Good.
Paris, Germany a couple times. I've been to Hawaii a couple times. I've been to a lot of places. What I really want to go to is like California and Las Vegas and stuff like that. But I've obviously enjoyed everywhere I've been to. I've been very blessed because seeing and going to different places, you experience things that a lot of people aren't experiencing. And I think that's a really important piece of life is getting to see the world and getting to see how others act or live in other places. You know?
Yeah.
So
it is, and I'd meet you in Vegas, but you'd have to hold me back from the clothing and the hats and everything.
No, yeah,
I buy
see exactly. That's why maybe it's meant to be that I'm not supposed to be in Vegas right now because I don't want to spend all my money. You know? But
yeah, there's lots of places to spend money, but California's awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we talked today, San Diego, and I mean, just all those. It is the best education. Mm-hmm. So, do you have a trip lined up now?
Not right now, actually. Not as of right now. But my parents had a couple plans. They actually went to London, I think, about nice. I want to say 2 weeks to a month ago or something like that. And then they ended up going to Germany to see my dad's mom as well and my dad's family. So yeah, they were having a little honeymoon, I guess you could say. And I was just hanging out here, and I actually went to a couple colleges just to see kind of options and stuff like that, just to just broaden my life on just what there is out there to.
Well, that's always good too. So after you get done with Hastings College, are you gonna go to further your education even further?
Yeah. Well, I want to get into law school because
really okay.
I know that my parents have raised me in a way where school's not really, I would say, hard for me because of the standard that they put me at. You know, they always told me get straight A's. If not, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? And so just living through that and having that discipline, I feel like has helped me. And so in a sense, I should take advantage of it. And I feel like getting into law, it will obviously help me with a lot of things when it comes to the business background.
Yep.
But I always have a financial stability to fall back on. You know, if things don't work out, because that's what life's about, man. You're gonna fail. You have to fail to succeed.
Fail.
And so, if things fail, I'll always have that financial stability to be able to go back on and keep going and keep striving to make that failure succeed. You know, and so
I can't see you failing very long.
But hey, it's gonna happen.
It will happen.
I will.
You just learn from it.
Yeah.
Fail forward. That's for sure. Yeah. So do you have any other businesses you want to open up that you haven't done yet?
So I actually, I've made music. I have some on iTunes actually. And so I wouldn't know if to consider that a business, but I consider it for sure a hobby, of mine. And then I guess another thing is, recently I've been cutting hair in, the dorms for free just to learn how to kind of cut my own. I gave myself a fade, like, I don't know, 4 days ago or something like that. But I've been learning how to kind of cut my own hair so I can save money and save time.
Right.
And so, and I think it's a win-win for the people I've been cutting too, because they've been getting haircuts for free.
It is. It's definitely a win-win.
So yeah, but I just love to do just little things and learn new things every single day. And so, yeah, I think ever since I was 14 or 15, I've just been experiencing little entrepreneur methods.
Definitely entrepreneurial. Yeah.
I remember I had this friend that got his farmer's permit. So he was like 14. I think I was 15 or 14 at the same time as well, but he could drive. And so we took advantage of him driving, and we used to go to Hayes, and we would do little side hustle jobs, like whether it was wintertime and we'd shovel snow, and we'd market ourselves to where we go to a really, really rich neighborhood and market those houses, you know. That's how it works. And we used to do that. I used to have like a little kind of like a car wash company in a sense. Like it wasn't an LLC, but it was something where people knew what it was about. And I used to bring like my hose and my cleaning supplies, and I used to wash people's cars right outside of their house. Got a lot of money from that. And I remember taking advantage of like holidays, like for Easter, I used to get little Easter baskets from Dollar Tree, and I think they were like $4 or $5 total, because you get the Easter basket for $1. Mm-hmm. The candy, you get two things of candy for $2, and then you get like a couple eggs, plastic eggs for $1 or something because they're like
Awesome.
25 a piece. So you set that up. And then I remember going to like parks and stuff like that where there was little kids with their parents. And
You are so
in your head,
wow.
you know that little kids with their parents, if you go up to and say, "Hey, I have an Easter basket for your kid," and then there comes the kid saying, "Oh my gosh, it's eggs and candy. This, that, Dad, give it to me."
Yes, every
They'll
time.
buy it. And so I would sell that for $10, and I make 100%, 150% profit. And so I was making, bunch of money. And I remember doing that as well. But it's just like experiencing those things. And at the end of the day, every time I did those things, I was getting out of my comfort zone, whether that was talking to somebody or whether that was just trying something new out. And I think that we were talking 4 days ago about getting out of our comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
I think that being comfortable is the worst thing that you can do.
So do I.
Being uncomfortable, there's so many things that you can do if you're uncomfortable. I promise you that. And I've always strived to find a place where I'm uncomfortable in the sense of I'm always, working to do something new or do something to get out of that zone,
Yes.
And so
no, and you have. And we might have to do a collaboration. You're inspiring me. Oh my gosh.
Sure.
So I mean, these ideas just come to you then, or
I feel like I definitely got blessed with the sense of I'm just always willing to learn new things.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, man, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know how the world works. I don't think you're supposed to know how the world works. But I think that, like I said, everything happens for a reason. And I guess I could say that I've been lucky to be blessed with the ability to blossom and do those things, and so
it is a blessing. I mean, and getting out of your comfort zone, because some people never do that.
Yeah.
And living a mediocre life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not living.
Mm-hmm.
So Edwin, before we end the podcast, anything else you want to share with the audience today? I mean, this has been a great podcast. I love your energy is contagious.
I would just say, if you're wanting to do something, I remember talking to a guy 3 days ago about he was telling me, came up to me and he was like, I want to open up my own business. I don't know what it is yet, but I want to open up my own business. I saw that you had a clothing line. And he was telling me like, but I just feel like people are going to say this or people are going to say that, or I don't have the socialness to do it. And I was like, man, you don't need the socialness. You can do it all over the phone if you really wanted to. You can do it. You could do all that stuff. And I told him, like, all you have to do, which just goes back to the start, is make that first step.
Amen.
Make that first step to open that business or open that thing or do that thing that you want to do.
Yes.
And once you make that first step, I promise you, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life.
The first step is the most difficult, and it truly is.
Yep.
So no, just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Because it is. You won't regret it. There'll be moments when you think, wow, I got myself in over my head, or it sucks, but it's all part of the process. It is very much part of the process. Mm-hmm. So, well, Edwin, I cannot wait to see you.
I'm excited to see how far you go, man. Because, man, I mean, you've already got far, but, like, I mean, you could go, you could do a lot of things.
I want to influence the world. I mean, that's why I think
possible.
It is possible. Everything's possible.
Yeah.
I think that's why, I mean, you're inspiring me to do more.
Yeah.
And because that vibe is contagious, and I've got the vibe from you today greatly. And just 5 years ago, I never thought about doing a podcast. Never. And somebody's like, why would you want to do that? It's like, why not?
Yeah.
So
now you're out here impacting people every day.
And I'm glad, because I would never met you if I hadn't. Exactly. So you just never know what that step is going to do. Yep. So, but. Well, I think we'll end the podcast there. Thank you very much. Well, I'm sure some great meetings at the maybe at a hot tub or weirdos.
Enjoyed every minute
at the Y. So, but yeah, so I would love to collaborate with you. If there's any way I can help you on your journey, let me know. So
I agree.
So
likewise.
On that, take care and have a good rest of your day, and we'll be talking soon.